Hello, my Stampin' friends. Welcome. How are you guys tonight? Um, Sorry, lost my train of thought there, and we just got started. uh, if you've never been with me before, my name is Candice. I am from Hiram, Utah, and I have been doing I don't know, Stampin' Up! For a very long time, 20 something years. Started lives a little over a year and a half ago, I think. And so, thank you again for joining me. If you're catching the replay, thank you. Please give me a shout out. Say hello, let me know you're here and what you think of my projects. Tonight, my goal was to do something fairly simple. Um, every Monday, I do a live, but the first Monday of the month, I do a make it with me. So the goal is that you can grab whatever you have in your craft room, hopefully some paper and a scoring blade, that kind of stuff, and follow along with me. So, um, if you've been on some of my other ones, you're aware that I have been planning a Caribbean cruise for almost 2 years now. We leave this week. I am very, very excited. And one of the things I wanted to do was make a little quick gift card that I can hand out to the people that help us and our room steward or people on our what's the word I'm looking for? When we go on excursions and stuff, instead of just handing them cash, I wanted it in a little fun gift card because that's who I am. And it just makes it extra fun to give it to them that way and a little bit more memorable. I wanted something quick and easy so I could make several of them to take with me and small. So it's easy to take with me. So that was my idea behind what I'm going to share tonight. So I'm going to switch cameras here and get started. And hopefully, hang on, I'm going to refresh this over here. Just make sure that I'm actually live like I'm supposed to be. Yep, I can see it. So it seems to be working. All right. So if you have not been on the Stampin' Up! Website lately, then I highly suggest you get on there. They do have the retired list. We do have our new catalog coming out in May. And I will be honest, there was a lot on there. I don't have a whole lot left. So I am going to be using a bunch of the products that are on the retired list. So I'm using the swirled designs. I'm using this little teeny tiny stamp here. It coordinates so well with these other two stamp sets, and I'll show you what I'm using it for. I am using the banner sayings, which I'm using thanks a million because, like I said, these are quick little thank you cards that I'm doing. This one is not retiring, and neither is the punch that goes with that. I will be using the banner punch as well. That over here. And then I have a sample that I made using the Boardwalk Fun. I actually didn't use the stamp set. I used the dies. I used the little palm trees there because, again, we're going on a Caribbean cruise. I'm using the Soft Waves 3D embossing folder. This is one of the thick embossing folders here. And then I'm going to be using the shell collecting. This one's really cool because you can flip the stamps over and use the back side to fill it in. So these ones here, you can see there's two of them so that this one coordinates with this one versus this one. These ones line up, these ones line up, those all line up, and then these ones flip-flop for each other as well. So I'm going to show you how to do that really quick. So we are going to start with, what are we going to start with here? We're going to start with the basic layout here. So I have a 11 by 2 3/4. So you can get 3 of these out of one piece of paper. Make sure I'm telling you this correctly. And I am going to grab my Simply Scored. You can use any kind of scoring this was just a little bit easier for me. And so I'm going to score it. Move this so you can see. I'm going to score it at 9.5. So basically I have 1.5 inches here, and I'm going to score it at 4.5 here. And so it should leave me with 5 inches in the center here. And then this will fold down and this will fold up, and it's going to fold over each other like that. And then I would take this part here and I just put it in here and embossed it. So this is how we end up with this. Again, I have this one that folds under here. So one is higher than the other. And I'll show you what we're going to kind of do here to make it really easy. So I have this one here, I believe is 6 inches. And I am actually just going to tear it right in half so I can get 2 out of the one sheet. It's 1.5 inches. You could cut just what you need and tear, but because I'm making a bunch of them, it's much easier just to tear 2 in half. Did the same thing here. This one's 2 3/4. And we're going to grab our crumb cake here. I only need one of those. And we're going to grab those little dots that I was talking about. And we are just going to quickly stamp along here. If you haven't figured it out yet, this really makes great sand. So definitely going with a beach theme here. All right, and before I finish that part off, try and move over to the side here a little bit. I'm just going to grab my blending brush and I'm going to add a little bit more ink to this. I like the extra, I guess depth is the word I'm looking for that it adds to it, especially with the going over where it's torn. You can see that it kind of makes it a little bit darker in there and just adds a little bit more to it compared to this piece here. So see if I can kind of do it on just a little bit of the side here so you can see the difference. So you can kind of see how that highlights that area and adds a little more in. You don't have to do it, but I just like it. So that's what I did on here. Okay. And then I am going to take just a piece of white here, and I'm going to just punch this top little banner out, and we're going to grab our secret C here, and we're going to stamp our thanks a million. See if I can line it up here on there. So we have that one. Set those aside here. And then I've already pre-stamped and fussy cut these ones. I believe this one is Calypso Coral, Petal Pink, and Darling Duckling. And then for our last one, that's one I wanted to show you. I'm going to stamp. So this is my lined one. If you joined me last week, I explained I like to stamp my lined one first because to me, number one, it's usually the darker one, and then it's easier to see when you stamp the lighter one. So we're going to stamp this one in Pool Party. Now I flipped it around, so this is the flat side here instead of the lined side. The lined side is actually against the block, and then I can just line that up. It doesn't line up perfectly, but pretty dang close. And I get that fun little look to my seashell. That's the word I'm looking for. Sorry. And we're going to hurry and cut this one out. I wish this would have had dies that went with it, but it didn't. And thankfully, they are all pretty easy to fussy cut if that's what you're wanting to do. All right. So now we can assemble our card. So there's a couple of ways that you can do this. If you want to, you could do like staples on this part. I am going to just do it the way that I did it. So I have a piece of the Calypso coral and a piece of the Secret Sea. We're just gonna, my glue is getting down to the end. We're gonna add some glue here and here and just make a little edge. And then we can do same thing with this one. And we're gonna put it on the inside here. And part of the reason for doing this, that I like to do it, is it just makes it a little bit more obvious of where you can put a gift card holder or gift or something in there. Again, you wouldn't have to, but you could. Now I'm just putting glue on the very edge here. It's not way wide, but it does fit as long as you don't get your glue too far over to the edge. Now for this one here, we're going to make a belly band, but I want to go just a little bit bigger. So rather than folding it right on the edge, I'm actually going to fold it so it's just a hair bigger. And you'll see why here in just a second. And I'm going to kind of line that up. But if you look here, where it would normally kind of slide up and down like a belly band, it's going to be just a little bit wider. See, you can see there's just that little bit of edge there. Now I'm going to put glue on just the very bottom here, and then the whole thing on each of these sides here. And then we're going to stick it on here and center it in there so it's got that little bit of an edge on each side going around. So you can see it has just a little tiny bit on each side. And you'll see here in a second why we're going to do that. All right. And the whole reason is because this is actually going to tuck in there to hold it closed. Embossing this definitely made it a little bit easier to flip it into there, but we're going to add our little sand on this level, and it's kind of fun because it makes it like double layered up without actually double layering it up. And we're going to go really fast with these. Hopefully I can get them on before the glue dries too much. Should have put glue on all of them first, because I want to tuck this underneath here. And then I'm going to kind of tuck this one. Actually, I'm not going to tuck that one. I'm going to kind of set it to the side. And I'm losing my seashells. And we're going to kind of put that one in there just a little bit. So we're just going to kind of layer them on top of each other. This last one here, I am going to grab a Stampin' Dimensional and just kind of pop it to the side here, like so. There we go. And one last thing, we're going to grab our Wink of Stella and we're going to add a little bit of sparkle, because to me, seashells like sparkle in the sun. I don't know, maybe they don't in real life, but I feel like they do. So we're going to add some sparkle. And we'll finish it off. Let's see if this is the right size. Ah, that works. We're just going to add this up along the top here. Now you could do it without adding the little piece behind it, but I liked the pop of color, so we added a little pop of color there. Straighten that out. And then I will share with you, if you didn't see the picture already, the other one. But again, super quick and easy. This is going to slide down in there. And we have a fun little gift card holder. So this one here you can see there it has the gift card that fits, just slides right in there. Easy to close. This one here has some cash in it because who doesn't want cash? Now, I did notice that when you do the cash, it doesn't stay quite as tight. So that's a case that you might want to consider putting like a staple or something in there to hold it instead of just the glue, just because the cash is a little bit thicker. I suppose if you only had, there's several dollar bills. If you only had one in here folded up, it probably works a little bit better. So kind of, I guess, depends on how much you want to put in that card on whether or not you might need to add a little bit more. But because this wraps around it, it does actually hold it as well. And then you can close it up. So that's using the little palm trees, and I just used a sponge dauber to add some extra to that. I think I have a couple of other videos of how I did that. But there you go, some quick, easy ideas on there. Thank you, Brandy. I'm glad you like it. I'm going to switch cameras here again. Like I said, I am leaving. My goal is to still have videos and some pictures and things to share for you. We're going to see how much time I have before I leave, or maybe I'll just be popping on live from the Caribbean and say hello to you from there. But thank you again for joining me. I do have lots of stuff still from on stage, so hopefully I can get pictures of that taken and share that with you while I'm gone. Please remember you can order CandiceAnderson.stampinup.net. Check out more things on stampinwithcandice.com or Instagram, Facebook. I'm all over the place. Hopefully you're following along. Thank you again for joining me. And normally I would say see you next Monday, but I will see you in a few weeks. But still jump on and join if I am able to get on next week. So have a Stamptastic night. Thanks again for joining me. Bye-bye.